Readers, our next book of the day is Your Place in the Universe, written by Jason Chin. Your Place in the Universe. Again, let's take a moment to turn and talk. Let's think about the title, Your Place in the Universe. What do you see? What do you think that means? What are we going to learn about in this story, or what's it going to be about? Let's turn and talk and make some predictions first, readers. Your place in the universe. These kids are 8 years old. They are about 5 times as tall as this book, but only half as tall as 8-year-old. The average 8-year-old is about 50 inches or 127 centimeters tall. Inches. Inches are useful for measuring people and things that are smaller than people, like books. But is half as tall as this ostrich. Ostriches are the tallest birds in the world and may grow to be 9 feet tall. That's taller than 2 8-year-olds standing on each other's shoulders, but it's less than half as tall as this ostrich is 100 inches or 2.5 meters tall. But it's less than half as tall as what? The giraffe. Giraffes are the tallest animals on land. The tallest giraffe on record was 19 feet tall, which is more than twice as tall as the tallest ostrich. But giraffes aren't the tallest living things in the world. Feet. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Feet are useful for measuring things that are taller than humans, such as ostriches and giraffes. This giraffe is 17.4 feet or 5.3 meters tall. The tallest living things are trees. The tallest trees on Earth are California redwoods, and the tallest redwood is 380 feet tall. It's 20 times taller than the tallest giraffe, and it's still growing. But even if it's not as tall as the tallest structures that humans have built, the tallest building in the world is more than 7 times taller than the tallest redwood. And people keep constructing taller buildings. But even these soaring skyscrapers are tiny compared to, make a prediction, turn and talk. What do you think? Notice the pattern that our author has created for us. What do you think might be next compared to, let's read these other fun facts down here. This oak is 100 feet or 30.5 meters tall. This Selba kapok tree is 100 feet, 45.7 meters tall. This giant sequoia tree is 286 feet or 87.2 meters tall. The Australian mountain ash is 327 feet or 99.8 meters tall. This redwood is 380 feet or 115.8 meters tall. Human structures. And the Eiffel Tower is 1,063 feet or 324 meters. The Empire State Building is 1,454 feet or 443.2 meters. The Burj Khalifa. So I apologize when I do pause. When I'm reading this on the computer, it gets a little blurry for me. So as a class, you might have to relook at those words too. So my apologies. Which is 2,717 feet or 828.1 meters. The Jeddah Tower, which is currently under construction, its planned height is 3,281 feet or 1 kilometer. So let's look at this paragraph again, since we were doing some turn and talk predictions. The tallest building in the world is more than 7 times taller than the tallest redwood. And people keep constructing taller buildings. But even these soaring skyscrapers are tiny compared to, let's find out, the highest peak on Earth. Measured from sea level, Mount Everest is 29,035 feet high. Wow. That's about 5.5 miles. Almost 9 times the height of the tallest planned building. But even Mount Everest doesn't reach all the way. What do you think? Let's predict again. Notice the pattern. And here's sea level. Fact about Mount Everest: 29,035 feet or 850 meters above sea level. Mount Everest is the highest peak on Earth measured from sea level. The tallest mountain measured from base to summit is Mauna Kea in Hawaii, but its base is below sea level. Its peak is 32,696 feet or 9,966 meters above the seafloor. 3,681 feet taller than Mount Everest, but most of it is underwater. Miles. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Miles are useful for measuring longer lengths than feet, such as the distance between cities, or the lengths of rivers, or the height of Mount Everest. So let's see. But even Mount Everest doesn't reach all the way. Let's find out. To space. Although there's no exact height for the edge of space, it's commonly said to be 62 miles up. The International Space Station orbits 248 miles above sea level. That's 45 times high as Mount Everest. But it doesn't seem far compared to... What do you think, readers? And since so much of these facts here, let's see if I can see some of them. So we have Mount Everest down here. we're probably going to have to read about the atmosphere on the book since it's a little hard to read sideways, readers. So let's see. Doesn't seem so far compared to what? The entire planet. Earth is 7,926 miles wide. Wow. That's 128 times the distance from sea level to the edge of space. From far away, the visible atmosphere looks like a thin blue film surrounding our planet. And the International Space Station doesn't appear very far away at all. Earth is enormous, but it's not so big compared to... think of our pattern. What do you think compared to what, readers? So, fun fact here is orbits. Satellites like the International Space Station travel around Earth in a circular or oval path called orbits. Gravity keeps satellites in orbit around our planet. And here we have the Hubble Space Telescope, and this is its orbit. It goes 353 miles or 568 kilometers above sea level. Here, the International Space Station is 248 miles above sea level, or 399 kilometers. Earth, 7,926 miles across. And here is the edge of space, around 62 miles above sea level, or 100 kilometers. The moon. So we had Earth is enormous, but it's not so big compared to the orbit of the moon. Here's moon. There's Earth. The moon is 238,855 miles away from Earth. It's so far away that 29 Earths could fit between the two. It's so far that a jet plane going 500 miles per hour would take 19 days to get there. But even the moon is close by compared to, let's think. Let's talk about that. Think of our pattern. A natural satellite. The moon is a natural satellite of Earth, and it takes 27.3 days to make one trip around our planet. Gravity keeps the moon in orbit around Earth. Moon, 238,855 miles from Earth. So let's see. But even the moon is close by compared to, let's find out. The sun. Yeah. Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. That's so far that a jet plane going 500 miles per hour would take more than 20 years. 20 years, readers. Let's hear that again. That's so far that a jet plane going 500 miles per hour would take more than 20 years to get there. Whoa. It's so far that sunlight takes 8 minutes to reach Earth. And light travels at 186,000 miles per second. But Earth is one of the closest planets to the sun. Venus? Mercury? Mars, Earth, and the Moon. The inner planets. The 4 closest planets to the Sun are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. They are known as the terrestrial planets because they are made of rock and metal and have solid surfaces. Beyond the inner planets are hundreds of thousands of rocky asteroids in the asteroid belt. The largest object in the asteroid belt is the dwarf planet Ceres, which is average 257 million miles from the sun. Here's our asteroid belt. The speed of light. Light travels 186,000 miles per second. That is crazy, readers. Crazy fast, right? That's so fast that a beam of light could circle Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. If it could be made to travel in a circle, nothing can travel faster than light. There are 5 planets beyond Earth. The farthest is Neptune, which is 30 times farther than the Sun than Earth is. The dwarf planet Pluto is 40 times as far, which is so far that sunlight takes more than 5.5 hours to reach it. Pluto is part of the Kuiper belt, which has billions of comets and 4 dwarf planets. But that isn't the end of the solar system. Earth, Sun, and inner planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Eris. The outer planets and beyond, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, are the farthest planets from the Sun. They are very big and very cold and are surrounded by thick atmospheres. Beyond them are 4 dwarf planets: Eris, Pluto's, Hame, and Makemake, and billions of comets in the Kuiper belt. And scientists believe that there are trillions of comets even farther away. These are the most distant objects in our solar system. And scientists believe there are trillions of comets beyond the Kuiper belt. The farthest of these could be 100,000 times farther from the sun than the Earth is. But it takes sunlight more than a year to travel that far, which would make the edge of our solar system more than a light year away. But our solar system is a tiny speck compared to the size of, what's a light year? A light year is a measure of distance, not time. It is the distance that light travels in 1 year, about 5.9 trillion miles. Astronomers measure the distances between stars and galaxies in light years. So what in our solar system is this? But our solar system is a tiny speck compared to the size of what? Our galaxy. The Milky Way Galaxy is 100,000 light years across and contains more than 100 billion stars. One of them is our sun. There are so many stars that from a distance, they blend together and look like swirling clouds of light. We are about 27,000 light years from the center of the galaxy, which means that even if you could travel at the speed of light, it would take you 27,000 years to get there. But that's nothing compared with the distance to, here's Sagittarius A. This is a black hole at the center of the Milky Way. And here's our solar system, which is 27,000 light years from the galactic center. The Milky Way Galaxy. Galaxies are groups of stars that are held together by gravity. The Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. And just as the planets in our solar system orbit the sun, the stars in the Milky Way orbit the center of the galaxy. Hidden in the center of the Milky Way is a black hole called Sagittarius A, pronounced Sagittarius A star, which is 4 million times more massive than the sun. But that's nothing compared with the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy. The Andromeda is the closest large galaxy to us, but it's 2.5 million light years away. It would take you 2.5 million years traveling at the speed of light to reach the Andromeda. The Andromeda and the Milky Way are part of a galaxy group called the Local Group. It was roughly 50 galaxies and is spread across millions of light years of space. But galaxy groups are small compared to galaxy clusters. Galaxy clusters are much larger than galaxy groups. The Virgo Cluster is the largest galaxy cluster near us. It has around 2,000 galaxies and is roughly 50 million light years away. But it's not the only one. Many galaxy clusters and groups surround Virgo, and altogether they are known as the local supercluster. But even our supercluster is just a tiny part of the cosmic web. Huge chains of galaxies, millions of light years long, are strung throughout space. Clusters of galaxies are found where the chains meet. And between the galaxies lie vast, empty regions called voids. This pattern is called the cosmic web, and it extends for billions of light years in all directions like a giant three-dimensional net. These are the largest structures in what? In the universe. The universe is everything. Every star and every galaxy, every planet, and all of space. It's the grandest environment we know of. And it may go on and on forever. But we don't know if it does. We don't know. Because the farthest we can see around 13 billion, or the farthest we can see, is around billion light years away. 13 billion light years away. Everything within this distance is called the observable universe. It's the region of space that we can see and look. This is the edge of the observable universe. And here we are. Here we are in all of it. It is the region of space that we can see from where we are. In the vast cosmic web, in the Milky Way, in the solar system, there is a small blue planet called Earth. Earth is the only planet that we know of with life. It's the only planet we know of with trees, giraffes, and ostriches. It's the only planet we know of with kids who can look up and imagine. Imagine their place in the universe. Who's there? There? Imagine their place. Here's a note from the author. It says, thinking about the size of the universe often makes me feel small, after all. There are billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, many of which have planets orbiting them. We humans are just small animals living on a small planet with a thin blanket of air protecting us from the cold of space. I feel like an insignificant speck among all those stars and galaxies until I remember how special it is that we are here and that we can imagine our place among all those stars in all the universe. Earth is the only place that we know has life. And of all the living things we know of, humankind is the only species that understands the vastness of space. We can hold the cosmos in our minds, and we've begun to understand our place in it. And that is very special. And although we are small, we are not at all insignificant. You are important.